Welcome to Granny Fit. You see this picture here? Do you recognize those two women? A couple of weeks ago, we did a exercise program. My friend Rosalind was with me, and this is a picture of me. I'm making a point today. 5 years ago, do you see the long hair? It's really hard to hold these pictures. There, that's me 5 years ago. And today, our fitness workout is discussing all the good news about menopause. And so we're just going to do a workout quickly. And we're going to have a little blog talk, okay? Here we go. So, here I am. I showed you that picture for a reason because I had a bad hair day today, and I thought, you know what, I need to talk about stuff like that. And I'm going to do my sit-up things here while I talk, because it's about the only exercise I can do while I'm talking. And as you know, my hair is like all pulled back really, really tight. And I had it cut. You notice in the picture, it's really, really long and really, really thick. That picture's 5 years old, 5 years ago. 5 years ago, some of my daughters, said that I should look my age. I shouldn't have that long, fluffy hair, and I should cut it shoulder length and look neat and professional like so many other women do today. And they said, come on, Mom, you're a grandmother. You have to look the part, not the part. Like, you need to be like doing crafts and knitting socks with the grandchildren and not worrying about braiding your hair. I used to braid it when I worked in the garden. It was so easy to keep when it was long. I just like put in a ponytail and stuck a braid in it when I was gardening or camping. And that picture was taken about 7:30 in the morning. My friend Rosalind's favorite thing was to come down early in the morning, ring on the doorbell and get me walking. And we'd gone for a walk down. I think Eric went with us that day. Maybe not. No, we were in Harrison Park. We went for a long walk in Harrison Park, so it was right out of bed. I just pulled on a jacket. It wasn't much later than this time of year. And away we went, and she had a little digital camera, and we sat it down in a flower bed. It was later in this year, it was a month later, because the flowers were blooming. And we just took a bunch of pictures, like a whole pile of them. We had such a good time. But the reason I chose that picture is I looked at it this morning after I was trying to cover, I'm getting bald on top, because when my girls insisted I cut my hair, it would just lay flat, and I didn't like it, so I started curling it. Well, the curling iron is really, really hot, and it kept burning my head when I roll it in. So everywhere where the curling iron burnt my scalp, the hair didn't grow back. So I've got these little spots on top of my head that you see in the camera as shiny spots from me trying to make the shorter hair look half decent. Short hair is a lot of work. I can't just wash and go anymore. So it's just the exercising here. So one thing that's not good about menopause is your hair thins out. When I started my menopause, the first summer, right away, I would brush my hair and like handfuls of hair would come out. And it was a crying matter. They said, that's no crying matter. Who made that phrase up? They didn't go through menopause. It's a crying matter because I'd always had long, thick hair. And now I'm going to show you my long, thick hair that I used to put in two big braids. This is the thickness of my hair now. It's like a rat tail. And if you look at the back, what I had to do this morning because I was having a bad hair day, instead of braiding it, I have these little rubber band things going down there. The hair is so thin now that when I braid it, it doesn't stay braided, it falls out. So now I have to put these silly little rubber bands down the back of my head just to keep the fluffy little shorter pieces from flying in my face all day and irritating me. So the thing is about menopause, when I started to go through it and have all those like night sweats and things, my doctor gave me a book. That time my doctor was a female, and she said, the book's entitled The Good News About Menopause. I said, oh, there's good news? Great. So after about 12 chapters of them telling you about waking up with night sweats and having to get up and you're totally so bad, well, the good news is for your husband because you peel off and now you're sleeping in the raw. And the bad news is you have to go and you have to do laundry every day for the first 2 or 3 years because you're just soaking the bed. And the other good news is, well, you can be intimate and not worry about being pregnant. Well, I could practice birth control and have that same benefit. The bad news is that it's more uncomfortable to be intimate, so maybe you're not going to do it as often anyway. And many women today, by the time they reach menopause, are single again. They're either widowed or divorced or just not even married because they're career women. So getting pregnant at 50 isn't an issue. And what if you wanted to have Sarah baby? You can't anymore. And so the other good news is, well, you won't have to shave your legs as often. They won't be as hairy. Well, the bad news is that you have to now put piles of lotion and oil on your legs because not only are they not hairy, they're dry. And the skin now, it feels cracky. It doesn't feel smooth anymore. And the other good news is you won't get pimples. Well, now you have this dry skin. It's not puffy and luscious looking because you don't have the oils anymore that cause the pimples. But now you have to go and buy over-the-counter moisturizers by the gallon. And you get out of the shower and you wash all your sweat and oil off, and then you open up a bottle and you pour more on. And the other bad news is when you go through menopause, most women are done their career by then. And so you're on a pension. You can't afford the oils and the creams and the moisturizers. And so the good news is you have lots of time. You could travel around and take a vacation, work in your garden. Bad news is you can't afford to. So like the book talks about, all kinds of stuff. But by the time I got to the end of the book, I said, the only good news in the whole book is for the man you're in bed with, because it says you're not all stressed up and worried about getting pregnant, and by then your kids have left home and you don't have to worry about making noise. So it must have been a man who wrote this book because there was no good news about menopause. So that's the truth about menopause from a woman who's experienced it. There we go. And I guess for me, I do knit, but I'm not sitting in a rocking chair till the day the Lord takes me home. I like to do all kinds of things that are contrary to most women going through menopause. I do brick mortaring, I build, and I do carpentry. I went to Florida with a friend because now that I'm menopausal, I'm not raising toddlers. And while I was in Florida with my friend, we went to a flea market and I found this thing, and I think I got it for $1 or $5 or something. So the other good thing about menopause is your eyesight's fading. You don't have the sight you used to have when you were young. So even though you have more wrinkles, and now instead of shaving your legs, you got to shave your face. You get these little things growing out of your chin that appeared out of nowhere overnight, like every morning. But with not being able to see so well, you can buy this stuff like it's fake hair for $5. And look at it, it's almost, pretty close other than the bit of gray coming in. It's pretty close to natural. And if all my friends are getting as blind as me after menopause, they won't notice, and it's already curled, and I just have to pull it out of the box. I should have thought of that a long time ago. Then maybe I wouldn't have hurt myself. And I found it this morning when I was doing my grandmother cleaning. Because now that I have had menopause, I have lots of time because I have a career to clean up my drawers and my cupboards. And the other good thing about menopause is now that your hair is thin, and you can't do anything with it, you get to decorate yourself up like a Christmas tree because your face has lost its peachy cream complexion, so you get to buy this little powder, pat it on your face, and you get to put colors over your eyes. And because your eyelashes are thinning too, you get to glue this glucky mascara on your face if you want to. And then because, you're losing that beautiful natural spring blossom bouquet charm, you get to decorate yourself with beads and baubles. And not that you don't want to, but maybe now you become a Christmas tree and you have to. So, I don't know. When I was young, someone asked the preacher in our church, I come from a very conservative background, is it proper for women to wear makeup and paint their face. Looks like my fake hair wants to slip out here. The guy said, you know what? Nothing wrong with straightening out an old barn. And so I guess we're taking the fake hair off. It's not gonna work today. And remember, a little bit of red paint on an old barn. I guess it doesn't be so bad. It won't keep the barn put together. It doesn't make it look better until it falls apart. 4, 5, 6. And that's the soup of menopause. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 50. I'm back in my room, as you can tell. It's going to become a bedroom for my sister, I think, unless we can get her up the elevator, up the stairs. She's a bit of a disability and needs help getting to bed, especially when it's on the second floor of a house. And so it was going to be a long process of making it into an office anyway. And I think it's adequate space for a bed and a dresser and a closet. So it's going to change. And we'll have to do the workouts in the living room like we did the last couple of days with the gentle fit stretches. I hope you like that segment. It was kind of fun getting in there and just using the furniture to work out and help my friends who don't have all this great inexpensive equipment. But my friend Nathan, I forgot to ask him if he watched to see if I was doing these exercises that he wanted me to do for my arms. And so here I am trying to get my arms strong and then get my arms thinner because this is what Nathan says works. So let's go at it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. There we go. My husband does this thing in the morning because he's trying to keep his upper shoulders because he works in industry, movable. And I had a bad injury in my shoulder here from a husky dog. What he does is he pulls his hands up behind him and he tries to inch them up farther and farther all the time. There was a time when I had the injury where I could not get, this is my left arm, could not get it up past even here. It was hard to even dress. And when I was younger, I used to do Ed Allen. Do you remember Ed Allen? And he did this exercise where you hold your hands up behind your back. And it was for the same reason. And at that time, I used to be able to pull my arms. I don't think I could do it anywhere near that. Way up. So they were like up here. But look at this. They're not up very far anymore. So that's another area we have to work on. There we go. Let's do a few toe touches. Touch the floor. Knock on wood, but it's not wood, it's cement. Knock on wood. There. And back. My clothes keep creeping up, sorry. Anyways, back to doing some stretches on the side and this, do this little pretty ballerina thing so we feel feminine and youthful. I'm applying for a contest on YouTube. I've been very frustrated because I haven't got the skills or the knowledge to do proper videos. And for you guys, I like to do proper videos. And I know I should be just living and gardening. But I'm really enjoying it. It seems like an adventure of learning how to do videos on YouTube. And so they have a contest out. And you can't use music. And And I bought some tapes, but apparently I can't play them because someone else made those tapes. I got a little notice on my YouTube.